racing fans, and a warm welcome to Trackside, proudly brought to you by World Sports Betting. Bet with the best, bet with WSB, a leader in the fixed odds betting market and number one in the anti-post betting market. It's Trackside for the weekend. I trust that I find you well. You've had a fair week punting wherever you were during the course of the week, because as you know, on World Sports Betting, you are spoilt for choice when it comes to options for racing, gambling. Well, what it is about, it's the casino, it's numbers, it's sport, it's everything on World Sports Betting. Well, I trust that you had a good week and looking forward to this weekend. And we got two local centers this weekend. We race in Cape Town, Durbanville on Saturday, and then we race at Greyville on Sunday. I had a good look at both cards, and I must say that the race card that caught my eye is Greyville on Sunday. So what I've done is I picked out 4 horses at Greyville for Sunday, and 2 trebles will be up on the World Sports Betting menu. So away we go with the 4 horses this weekend, guys. And our day on Sunday will begin early. It'll begin in race number 2, which is a Pinnacle Stakes over 1,800 meters. And I found a horse here called Super Silver. This is Mike Miller and Sereno Mudli. Now this horse had back-to-back wins over 24 and 2,300 meters, and after both those wins the stable had a plan with him. They were going to race him in the South African Derby, and so he went up to Gauteng. He had the 1 run, which was going to be a warm-up run for him, but unfortunately things did not go according to plan, and they had to can him running in the SA Derby. It was back home, and he had a run, and then he was rested after his run on the 14th of May, and he came back on the 24th of August. Now they raced him that day over 1,700 meters, which is obviously too short for him, but they removed the blinkers. And if you listen to that interview that I did with Sereno Mudli and assistant trainer Craig Udy, they had a plan of action which paid off handsomely for him. He usually comes from off the pace. They raced him up handy over the shorter distance, and he ran all the way to the line. The challenges just come over the final 200 meters or so, but he fought them off, and he showed that he's game, he's got guts, and that he can run. From that form line, Imelenze, Yoko Doduma, and Tom's Act have both come out to win, so that form line is looking good, it's looking bright. 1,800 meters is still going to be on the sharp side for him, but just have a look at the weight that he carries this horse. 52.5 kgs. Now you may say, but he doesn't feature in the best weighted column. He's not well treated in this race. Well, you may be right, but I'm going to take a stance and say that his rating of 87, which he's got after, 3 wins, I think he's ahead of the handicapper. He's a few pounds ahead of the handicapper, and with this low weight on his back, 52.5 kgs, 1,800 meters, I'm going to say whatever beats him wins. I think the jockey will be confident as he was last time out. Wouldn't be shy to race this horse handy if he gets there with this low weight. If he comes from off the pace, well, I still see him finding a good finish. He's taking on some fair horses in this race. It will be a good test for him, but I think he's better than an 87, and with this low weight, whatever beats him wins. Race number 2, horse number 6, Super Silver. Then we move along to the next race that I picked out, which is race number 5. Now race number 5 is a Pinnacle Stakes over 1,200 meters, and there's some fair horses here. There are horses that will definitely have followers, and many will be playing to beat my top choice in the race, but I think whatever beats him wins, and that's number 8, Captain Fontaine, Guard Puller. And again, it's that guy, Sereno Mudli. Well, he started off his career with a bang. We know what a reputation he had after winning 4 on the bounce, and he really won those races well. Changed stables, went down to Cape for a campaign there, and he raced in races like what he raced in the Merchants, the Green Point Stakes, the Cape Flying Championship. He wasn't disgraced in those runs. And then his last start before returning to Garth was in the Drill Hole Stakes, where he was a bit of disappointment. He finished towards the back end of the field, obviously not his run. And then last time out, coming off a 3.5 month break, he was I'm not going to say he was quietly fancied, but you know, on this show we did tip the winner that day, who was quite Spinner, but he was fancied in the betting. And he ran a game race back with guard puller, 1200 meters at Scottsville. He was beaten by Point Spinner, as we mentioned, that was tipped on the show, but he did heat it for second with the horse that he meets again, called Gallic Chief. Now, that run was going to bring him on a ton. I have no doubt about that. He's going to be a fitter. He's going to be more alert this time round. He has won twice at the course. He's won once over the course in distance. So that's no issue at all. And having watched him last time out, I think there's plenty more to come from him. This is the type of horse, as a 5-year-old, you could see him have a good season, because just ignore the latter end of his 4-year-old career. I know that things did not go to plan with his trip to Cape Town, etc. But having shown his well-being last time out, I think there's plenty more to come from horse number 8, Captain Fontaine. Now, best weighted column, you may ask. Yeah, he is joined third in the best weighted column behind Shantyman and Tempting Fate. But I think in the small field, the way I see the race is going to be run, I think it's going to suit him ideally. Conditions will be perfect for horse number 8, Captain Fontaine. Then that's the second of our 2 runners for the weekend on Sunday. And then I move along to race number 7. Now, this horse, guys, is going to be a price. I have no doubt about that. I looked at the opposition. There's lots of form to recommend. There's horses that are in good form, but I think our runner is going to be a price. And this is going to be a proper boost for that trackside treble. The horse's name is Winter Air. He's trained from an in-form yard of Garrett van Zyl. And if you can recall, he won very early in his career. He won at his second start. And I remember that race clearly. He was partnered by Anton Marcus, poorly drawn, set towards the back of the field. When they turned into the straight, it just opened up on that inside running rail for him, and he won going away. He was super impressive when he won at his second start, and I thought, well, this horse is one to pencil in now. We're going to follow him as a 3-year-old, but he didn't shape, and he never trained on after that win. And I think the stable have done the right thing here. They've given him some time off to strengthen up, mature. They've gelded him as well. He was gelded back in April. And he definitely showed his well-being and the fact that he may be the horse that we thought he could be when he started off his career back from a gelding, because it was a cracking good effort from him last time out, over 1,400 meters. He was the fastest finisher that day, and he ran well. Now, he is having to come from a wide draw, but I mentioned when he won his maiden, he was poorly drawn. This is 1,400 meters. Atandiwem Goodla, how well is he riding? Yeah, he's riding very well, and he does a lot of work for Garrett, as I mentioned previously on the show, getting to know the horses, and they'll have a plan with this horse. I think wherever positioned by Atandiwem Goodla, if he can find the finish he showed last time out, I think he's a massive runner here, number 11, Winter Air, in race number 7. He's going to be big value, guys, and we're going to include him in that trackside treble, but he could be each way value as well. Okay, we move along to race number 8, the Lucky Last. Now, this is the shortest price favorite on the card. I think will be, when I looked at all the races. I wouldn't be surprised to see this horse in the red, but it'll be a nice way to close things off, because in black and white, there's no other that will compare to the form that this filly represents when she made her debut. Now, there are unknowns in the race. There are first-timers. But as I said, of the race runners, she was a clear standout for me. She debuted on the poly track over 1,200 meters. What a run it was from her. She was quite fancied as well. There was money for her. She was backed into 7-2, and she only found one better on the day. She was behind Act Naturally, finishing back in second. Now, that form line behind Act Naturally has seen Tangerine Pearl come out to win. Natalia runs second. She's not easy, run third. So it's looking good. It's looking bright. And yeah, she was carded to race a few meetings back, and I can remember that clearly, and she was priced up favorite as well, and she did not run. She was scratched, so there may have been issues with her or whatever it was, but she was obviously not 100%, so they didn't take their chances. Now, the one thing that stands out in her form, and it is a slight concern of mine, is that when you look at the comments column, it's written clearly, severe respiratory noise on debut. Now, usually you see breathing noise, respiratory noise as a comment in the form guide, but It's very seldom, I doubt I've seen this before. I mean, I may have, but I can't recall. When you see the word severe in front of respiratory noise, it tells you that it must have been bad. But she still ran well, you know, she still ran well. She ran second in that small field, which was a promising introduction. But the fact is, there was some issue, it was severe, as it says in the computer form. So, the Peter Muscat-Yard, they're a professional outfit. We know that. We've come to know that over the seasons, and they would have, you know, assessed the situation, and I'm sure they would have worked tirelessly on this problem back home. And hopefully they're on top of things, because if she's 100% on the day and she's not affected by this breathing issue that was reported on debut, she will win. There's no doubt about that. She will win. So that is my slight concern, but I'm going to take it on level ground. I'm going to take it on the fact that everything's well with her. There's going to be no issues, and for that reason, I think she'll be hard to beat you. Closing it off with a bang, number 10, Shanta's Pride. So you've got the 4 horses. 2 trebles will be up on the World Sports Betting menu as always. And all the best for this weekend, guys. I trust you're going to have a wonderful weekend wherever you're playing. And as always, on behalf of World Sports Betting, thanks to all the punters, but more importantly and more especially, thanks to you, the valued customer. Until next weekend, you take care. Salaniga.